Are you ready?
I am ready.
Like, finally. I've been ready. John Peckman Podcast, Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance. Beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. Come over the bridge, go through one set of lights, start looking left. Pull a U-E, park in front of the music store with a red neon light. Have your very own podcast here in our beautiful studio. Dave will tell you how. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Be on the show with me. Just reach out. Because we are here today with Tom De Sena.
Very good.
Thank you. Run into Tom once in a while. Last week was the Creative Music Fest.
Nice get together.
And that's when I was like, boom.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, so I'm glad that happened because I figured it would happen. I knew I would run into at least a few people.
I mean, it was like the who's who. Everybody around Hartford. It was so many familiar faces.
Crazy.
It's funny seeing people that you haven't seen in so many years and trying to put the names back with the face.
Trying to think, do I still owe them money? Or
Right.
Oh, that guy. Oh, yeah, hey.
But it was great. I mean, Tommy Dust was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's gonna be on next
to get
week,
up there and do the deal. And I can't say enough about it. I think Bob would. Just smiled on all of us.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
it was pretty wild. So you were there. Yeah, I think Tommy might be on next week.
Oh, really?
Tom Dess. I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I reached out to him.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, so we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So you, what are you doing?
Right now?
Yeah.
I'm playing with an R&B band, Skyway.
Sure. Been around a while.
Great. Actually, it was out 70s, late 70s, 80s.
Whoa.
And then we disbanded later in the 80s.
Okay.
And then I went on and played with several different acts
Yep.
in the Springfield, Boston area. And then came back to Connecticut.
Yep.
And played around and pick up stuff. And then maybe about 15 years ago, a bunch of us said, let's do an R&B band.
Wow.
And I said, call it Skyway. I still got all the old promo.
Yeah, right. Oh, really? When I saw you with Dave, it was longer than that ago, wasn't it? Or no?
Maybe 15 or 20. Maybe 15 or it just flies,
That's
know?
Funny, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, so we came back out and doing the R&B stuff.
Who else is original from there? You?
Myself, Mark Franco was the original bass player from Joint Forces.
Oh, wow.
When we first started. Myself, Joe Murata, who's Joey Primo, goes by that moniker now. He's a Blues Society guy.
Sure.
Mark Lapatowski on guitar from Southington.
Yeah.
In the front was Jason Jeffries.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No female singer? What am I thinking of?
Different incarnations. We did have a female singer down the road. Yeah, but that was the original five.
Wow.
And then as years went through, Neo came through the band.
Yep.
And Floyd Patterson came through the band.
Wow. Yeah.
Naomi from Too Much Too Soon came through the band as a female. Diane Carangelo, Evelyn Dillon, Tamesha Gavan.
Okay.
And now it's Carla Zapay, who's like, we're a happy family.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool. Still doing it.
Yeah.
Still going.
It's such a great gig because I'm playing with my best friends.
Yeah.
And at this stage of the game.
See, I've never even liked anyone.
That's what I mean. I mean, I don't want to play with people I don't like. I don't care if they don't like me, but but it's just so nice. I mean, you come to a gig, and it's just like a social thing.
Yeah, right.
And
at this point,
everybody's very good player, and right now the lineup is Carla Zapay and Daryl Carter from the Fabulous Downbeats is the male vocalist.
Okay, yeah.
Dave Buddha on guitar, who's with Street Temperature and different incarnations. I think another band he had with Frank, I think Topaz. Neil's on bass, and Kevin Wheelock's on keyboards.
Wow.
So, and then my old keyboard player is doing sound. So it's just like,
perfect.
It's a get-together.
Hey, that's cool.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah. And that's pretty much what you're doing, drum-wise, right now.
That's about it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's good enough.
I mean, I've been playing with a friend of mine, Joey from Blues Society, and a couple other guys that came through Skyway. And one of them did the guitarist, and called out of the blue. I had to think of it for a second.
Yeah.
And we did a couple shows. We did a set at Sally's. We did the Old Well, the Blues Blizzard a couple of weeks, maybe a month ago, maybe.
Yep.
And it's kind of a electric blues thing.
Yep.
It's fun. It's fun. Yeah, it's a little bit different for me, you know?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So you're not a big blues background?
Not really. You know, no. Yeah.
But that's cool, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, I learn something new all the time.
Why not?
I got no complaints.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know?
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in New Britain.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Till about 4th, 5th grade. Then we moved to Cromwell.
Oh, okay.
And then went to Cromwell Public Schools. So,
okay.
yeah, right across the river.
Cool.
You know, so this is like home. This is home turf here.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
And like I told you earlier, I used to teach here.
Yeah, I know. That's
which
weird.
is like,
That's
wow.
bizarre.
I walked in. I haven't been in here in 40 years, and I
Whoa.
like what you did with the place. You
Wow.
know.
And that was Dave then?
No, it was
Right.
Joseph Flicky and his wife ran it.
Okay, yeah.
And that was before Dave. And then I taught here, and I taught across the river over at Middlesex.
Sure.
Ziggy's place.
Yep.
And, you know, but at that time I started getting busy. I started traveling, stuff playing, and it's just hard to keep a teaching schedule.
Yeah.
And as you know.
Yeah. I kind of opted. The teaching got busy at a certain point, and I kind of started closing the door on gigs, oddly. And,
Yeah.
you know, now it's if it's worth it.
Right.
You know,
Right.
one of those things. Yeah. How did it all? You know what would go good with this coffee is a cannoli. Wouldn't that be? Wouldn't that be wonderful? See, Tom brought cannolis to the gig. I'm like, whoa. He goes, I always bring cannolis. I'm like, great. What are you doing next week?
Well, it's kind of a standard. I got a friend of mine. I think you might have met him at the at Bob's celebration. John Roderick.
Maybe.
Him and his wife were there. I was sitting with them. He was he's a product guy. He was instrumental with Gibraltar, Legend Drums with Joe Montanari. And he's a phenomenal drummer.
Cool.
And I get together with him like once a month, you know, and we listen to old vinyl. He's got a great
cool.
listening room and all stuff that we used to grow up listening to and stuff, you know, and I bring cannolis, and that's like the standing joke.
I like it. Ain't no joke.
That's right. Those are serious.
Yeah. Killer. So how did it all start for you? Why drums?
You know, I like everybody else playing high school. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I was terrible. Take it serious.
Really?
I was. But interesting enough, I played in high school bands, and you have your little niche, you play for the dances and stuff. And that was like the early 70s, and you're covering like Santana and Creedence and all the rock that was out then.
Sure.
And a couple of the guys that was in our little local band got a gig with an Italian band.
Okay.
And like we were like, wow, this is like, it's real professional. Like, you guys travel and you play, you know, like in New York and you know, all over the East and for Italian festivals or whatever. And they grabbed these guys because they were they wanted to bring more American music into the repertoire.
Oh, wow.
And because they were, you know, strictly an Italian band, Italian songs, you know, Italian pop and everything else.
Wow.
So
I wouldn't even know what that is.
It's like American pop but Italian.
Yeah.
So anyways, the drum chair opened up and they asked me to join. So it was pretty interesting. It was pretty interesting. It was an education. I'll tell you, it was an education in playing commercial music and playing those type of gigs.
Yeah, right.
You know,
right.
and we were all over the place.
Well, what were you doing before then?
As far as playing wise, just playing the little rock bands, the local fun stuff, you know. But I was never playing, you know, waltzes and mazurkas and
I got you.
and all of that type of stuff, you know. And it was different, you know, and it was good. It was good musical training. It was very good.
That's cool.
Yeah, you know, and you know, I look back and it's funny because we drove those guys nuts. You know, we're a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
You know. And,
so how many kids were in it?
3 kids and it was 3 adults.
Wow. Okay.
And they were probably in their
Right.
late 30s,
Right,
maybe.
right.
You know,
Which was, you couldn't believe someone could be this old.
oh my God, you know, and they let us out. We're like 21. No, we weren't
sure.
even. We were still in high school.
Yeah.
So we were like,
yeah.
you know, 16 years old, 17, and we were at the house band at the Villa Capri in Wallingford.
I know that place.
Like Thursday, Friday, Saturday
Really?
night, every week for like a
Really?
month, and then we'd be the house gig at another Italian club down in Bridgeport.
Wow.
And then on the side from that, you're cranking out weddings, you're cranking out
sure.
all these festivals, especially in the
Sure.
summertime, the
Sure.
outside stuff,
Sure.
and it was great. It was an
You're
education.
Italian,
Oh, I'm Italian. Yeah.
so it's somewhat.
Yeah, no,
in the
there's
zone.
yeah. We cut a record. They played on Sunday mornings.
Yeah, right. Hey, that's exciting though.
I come home one
Your
night.
parents must have been happy.
Oh, there were until
Right?
until I come home. We rehearsed at my mom's house, and I come home one night, and there's a Rolls Royce in the driveway, and I say, "What the hell?
Yeah, what's this all
I
about?
don't know anybody with a Rolls Royce, you know." So I go in, and there's a guy sitting there, all dressed up and stuff, and he's Jimmy. I'll never forget his name, Jimmy Victor.
Oh, you're gonna be sorry you said that name out loud now. Anyway,
Anyways,
yeah, Jimmy.
Jimmy Victor. Anyways, he's an agent for Italian cruise lines. And he wants to put us on a cruise ship.
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah, my mom squashed that.
Oh, really?
I was in high school.
Did they go without you?
No. We didn't go. None of us. None of the
They
young
saw you at
guys.
the Villa Capri and said, "Hey, I wanna get you on the-"
Yeah, back to the Villa Capri. That's right. Yeah. But yeah, so that was a learning experience. You know, that was it was great.
How long did you do that?
I did it right to well, I went to a business school, 2-year business school, and at that time I was studying with Bob Gatson.
Oh, wow.
All that time, and that's when I started to get more serious. I started studying with Bob and playing Italian gigs and stuff and everything. And
Did you said they wanted to bring American pop into the band. Did you do that? You guys do that?
Yeah. It was interesting. So this way it mixed it up. It made it more, it made them more marketable. Now they could turn around and play several different types of functions.
Yeah.
So it worked out well.
That's cool.
Yeah. So about that time I started studying with Bob, and Bob was playing a lot of mallets then, and there was just a clique of us.
And this
with
would have
him.
been about what year?
I'm going to say 74,
Oh, wow. Okay.
74.
So the beginnings of Creative.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct. In the old Acme Auto.
Wow.
With all the drum sets in the front window,
yeah.
and
Wow.
I think it was myself. It was Bobby Forte,
Yeah, I don't
who's
know.
an excellent player. He's on the West Coast. Bobby Forte, Tommy Dest, Mike Risley.
Yeah, a lot of these are names that I know, but I don't know.
Yeah. We're all just a clique of us, and we're all studying with Bob at that time, and it was just a real good time. It was a great time for learning, great time playing music. Yeah.
What did you say? Would you say that you learned from Bob that helped you or that changed?
Gats, man, he was such discipline. Maybe just everything. He was a larger than life figure for us back then.
For sure.
Playing. I think he had a band, Ajax Band Company, which was a very hip band back then in those days.
Yeah.
And he's playing drums, played big double bass kit.
Yeah. So he's doing
lots of drums.
Yeah.
And he was playing mallets, and he was had the store, had started bringing in guest artists.
Yeah.
I remember the first show. I think the first show there, I helped him. Just doing the leg work.
Yeah.
The schlepping was Lenny White.
Wow.
And
That's heavy.
that's heavy.
Yeah.
That's heavy, and you get to see these guys up close and personal, and actually talk to them. These
Yeah,
are the
yeah.
guys, you're buying the vinyl,
Yeah.
listening to it, and
There they
they're
are.
just, they're like, they really do exist.
Yeah. Right.
You know?
There they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what Bob did
Oh, yeah.
for
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, some of the shows there. I mean, I sat. I remember sitting next to Tony Williams at one, like right up front.
That's
like,
crazy.
Right there.
Yeah.
And it was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And where do you get a chance to sit next to Tony Williams?
Yeah, right. Yeah, never. Yeah. never. I know. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I mean,
That all happened here.
right.
Yeah. So when I did not know you from a hole in the wall. No, I just,
Yeah.
I don't know. And we were at Aaron Stone's, he used to have a rehearsal spot in Wallingford. And I was just passing through.
I remember that.
Because that was the hub,
Yeah.
And I don't know who you were playing with.
I played with Davey and those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were Dave, and we were all there rehearsing.
Yeah, and I never pay attention to
Yeah.
anything, but I immediately was like, who's that on drums?
Yeah.
Because it was super pocket.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank
Well, I mean, I'm weird. That's what I remember. Like that'll be the thing that I notice more than.
You want to know what I remember? I remember you coming into the room.
Oh no.
And I said, "Oh no."
Really?
I said, "Oh no, he's not even smiling."
Why?
I said,
you knew who I was?
Yes, I know.
Really?
Everybody knows who you are.
I don't know that.
Oh, of course.
If you
My
say
God.
So. Yeah.
I should be interviewing you.
Yeah, whatever. No, I was trying to figure out. Whoa. I mean, I'm weird like that.
Actually, the guys in the band said something to me. They said, "How'd you feel with Peckman looking over you like
you're
that?"
kidding.
I said, "Well,
No.
it could be an intimidating figure."
Really?
You know? Yeah.
No, I know. I don't think about
Hey,
it.
I got one for you.
Open them. Let's go.
Okay, yeah, let's do this.
Get into it.
I just don't want to see people see me.
Oh, okay. Then don't.
No, it's
Don't. If
okay.
you don't want to be
That's
seen
okay.
eating, I don't care.
No, you
I'll
can
be
do it.
seen eating.
Hey, so I was I went to see Neil. Neil was had a Motown band.
Sure. Yeah.
So I went to see him. He was playing at the place in Simsbury.
With the old well?
No, the other one.
Maple Tree.
Maple Tree. So I go in there, and I knew some of the guys in the band, and Evelyn Dillon, a singer that worked in Skyway that I know, was singing with him. And I just went out to support him. I think that was his first gig. And you were playing drums.
I was?
And somebody said, I was standing at the bar, place was full.
Whoa.
So
I don't remember.
So the place is full. And somebody asked me, I'm standing by the bar. Somebody asked me, who's playing drums? I said, Peckman's playing drums. So from behind me, I hear, I'm Peckman's mother.
Oh boy.
So I turn around.
Really?
So I turn around.
I believe that.
And it was your mom.
That's so
And we had the
I don't remember any of that, but that
we had the
sounds-
nicest conversation.
Yeah.
But I thought
My
it was
Italian mom.
I thought it was funny saying.
Yeah, no, that's funny. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I could totally picture that. I don't really remember, but I believe it.
Yeah, no, you were
I
there.
believe it.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I didn't last long in that thing.
yeah.
I think that's why.
I think you were just filling in for
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I
it might have
I
been.
think,
Yeah, something like
because I know he was going through players and stuff. And
Yeah.
he had that gig.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that
I'm
would be my mom.
Peckman's mom.
Peckman's mom. Yeah, I was just with my mom today. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know if you know or what or whether it's a thing, but like I say, I don't, I mean, licks are licks. Anybody can learn licks.
Oh, yeah.
You can learn them.
Yeah.
But I just felt like the way you were playing, you were just playing R&B with that band, and I was like, wow, this guy's like a real R&B player, like for real. Like a real pocket player that you can't, I don't know if you can learn it. So that's what I'm going to ask you, because I'm just like,
If I can what? If I can.
if you can learn that, or whether that's just the way you play. Because I was like, now see this,
Yeah, I mean.
like start here. And 'cause that's the way I look at it. I go, if you don't have that, then why? Like everything else is whatever.
Everything else is secondary.
And if
Everything
that's
else,
all you have, who cares?
You work.
That's the way I look
yeah,
at
always
it.
work. Always work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm casual friendship with Herman Matthews, who's a
Oh.
and
See, I'm in a small minority. Of course, I love Garibaldi, but I liked when he played with Tower. I did.
Yes.
I did.
yeah, I could tell a good Herman Matthews story.
Please.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm
a fan.
Wow.
Wow.
Steve Shore
Okay. Yeah.
got a phone call. This back in.
Because Herman Matthews is pocket.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
my
yeah,
God!
yeah.
So Steve Short gets a phone call from a club in Springfield, bigger club in Springfield. They're bringing Tower in, and they don't know anything about bringing big bands in. You know what as far as stage managers and nothing. It's just they just booked Tower, and so Steve calls me up and he goes, I got this gig. He goes, I need help. You want to make some money, get to hang with Tower.
Sure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and figure out what they need. Yeah.
Yeah. So I go there, and Herman is in a chair.
So this would be the 90s.
Yes.
Right?
I think it's when that sold out record came out that Herman was playing on.
Yep.
So we hung out and we really hit it off. I mean, what a phenomenal guy.
Yeah.
Just a great guy.
I saw a clinic once.
Yeah.
And he was great.
Oh, he's
great.
yeah.
Love his playing.
Yeah. So we hit it off. I did a couple shows, just schlepping gear for them. I think up there down at Foxwoods, and then he says to me one time, we're sitting in, went to lunch, whatever. He goes, "We come out to L.A. Ever come out to L.A.? Look me up." So we got a TOP set list. He writes his number down on it and everything.
Wow.
So naturally.
Sure.
Yeah. So that was probably early '90s, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
So that went down, and time goes on, and I got a singer that I worked with that moved out there, and Gussie Miller, who's just a phenomenal singer. He's a cross between Kenny Loggins and Gino Vanelli.
Wow.
And he's doing some very cool things out there.
Who's this dude? What's his name?
Gussie Miller.
Okay.
And look for his music on he's on Apple. Yeah. Wow. He's got some great stuff out. And I worked with him for a short time around here. And, we stay in touch on Facebook. So I get a message from him. I see he's playing someplace, Lucky Strike Live, right in Hollywood.
Okay.
And I look at the date, and I hate to say my girlfriend, she'll kill me if she watches it. She hates that term.
Oh, boy. Okay.
She hates my significant
Your special lady.
My special lady.
There's no way that...
She'll say, "You're too old to have a girlfriend. What's wrong with you?"
Yeah, your partner.
My part. Oh, I don't know if she likes that. We'll have to run that by her.
Okay. Yeah.
But anyways, she...
Her.
Oh, that's...
We'll refer to her
I
as
don't
her.
know. We'll say Beth, all right?
Okay,
we'll call her.
okay,
We'll put her in here. So anyways, she works for a company, a ladies' accessory company, and she's out in California, and she wins a trip for her partner or significant other to come out. It's a quick turnaround. Friday night out, Sunday home. But it lands on the day that the singer friend of mine is performing. So we're in Pasadena. He's in Hollywood.
Then you went and found the set list and bring, yo.
So I messaged him. He goes, perfect. Come on, we'll hook up. We haven't seen each other in 25 years.
Whoa.
We'll hang out. And he goes, you're gonna love the band. He goes, I got Jay Gore on guitar. I got a lineup that's incredible. He goes, I got Herman Matthews on drums. I said, what?
You're kidding.
I said, you're
so
kidding
crazy.
me. You're kidding me. So I said, okay. So we did the deal, flew out there and everything, and that night I've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning. I had a direct flight out there. I haven't been to bed.
Yeah.
So anyways, we go to this club. We Uber out there. I had the set list in my drum room with his number on it.
Right.
And the backstage badge and stuff,
Yeah.
So I fold it up, put it in my pocket, bring it with me.
Why not?
So Beth goes, "What are you going to do with that?" I said, I'm gonna give it to Herman when I see him.
Nice.
And he's not gonna know who I am. He doesn't see me. He's not gonna know.
Oh, really?
So I walk in, and
that's so funny.
he's sitting at the bar, and so I walk in, and I said, "Hey," and he's a pretty intimidating guy. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
So he's sitting at the bar, and so I pull it out, I put it down in the bar.
There you go.
He goes, "What the is this?"
Yeah.
I said, he goes, "I haven't had that phone number in 15 years." I said, well, good thing I didn't call it. But so we reconnected there.
And he's like, "It's you," because you didn't look the same.
I had to get a little explanation. He didn't say, "Oh, Tom," But
That's so funny.
But I'll tell you, we sat there that night, and naturally on the breaks, band goes to the dressing room.
Sure.
Every break, he came out and sat with us.
That's awesome.
It's just like, you know, and then at the end of the night, he's apologizing. He goes, you know, I'll stay and hang with you guys. But he goes, I got to fly out. I'm in Pasadena tomorrow or something with Tower or whatever or someplace, you know. And because I can't stay, I got an early flight. But I mean, But he is somebody who changed my plan.
Oh, okay.
Just watching him.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You know, I you know, especially like. Especially Tower tunes is a great example. You know, I think when I was younger, and believe me, they're difficult songs for me, even now.
Yeah, of
and
course.
And
do you know how to play Oakland Stroke? Because I don't.
Actually, I did a video on it.
Oh,
it's on my Facebook.
Okay, you're gonna teach me how to play it. Okay, good. So I can't.
Yes, you can. Yes,
okay,
you can.
all right.
It's just an ostinato.
All right.
It's just an ostinato. You can play it.
Good. Thank you.
So, anyways. I was, you know, trying to cop like Garibaldi. I just get myself in trouble. Nobody plays like David except David. You know, and then when I saw Herman, the way he interpreted the songs, I said, I understand that. You know, he's just he's I hate to say meat and potatoes, but
yeah, I know what you mean though.
It's
less mathematical somehow.
Yeah, you know, I understand that, you know.
But Garibaldi's just expressing himself, though.
Correct.
And so he can sound like that. But the rest of us sound like we're creating a recipe, right?
Right.
But that was my take on it, that Herman had the nerve to make it his own.
Right?
Correct. Right.
Correct. And I remember in later days, what was it later? I can't remember. I remember asking Emilio one time, I don't know where I was, because I just wanted to know. I said, why Herman Matthews? And not that it's a bad, but I'm just curious. Just for me.
It's kind of an odd call.
Why?
Yeah.
You know? And he'd saying, I remember saying, meter.
Yeah.
His interpretation of complex R&B figures is just off the wall. I just love the way he interprets those figures. Now, you're going to have... How many drummers want that gig, man, on a resume, right?
Seriously.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't been many.
You know, you want to see Herman in really a nice setting is Kenny Loggins.
Oh, yeah.
On that concert in the Canyon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I know about
I mean, that's such a nice
great.
show, you know? And
sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's, you know, and I started, the more I kept through the years recording myself and hearing myself saying, man, you're just playing a lot of crap. It doesn't, you know, that's not how you play these songs, you know, and I'll quote you, and this stayed with me. You had something some years back, and I can't remember your exact words.
Really?
But about...
Are you sure I'm the person?
Oh, I'm sure it's you. I'm sure it's you.
I'm not going to remember. Wow.
What was something about Dave Weckl will not send you a trophy tomorrow morning for all the crap you played on that gig last night.
I said that?
Oh, you put it on Facebook.
Oh, right.
You wrote that. And I said, that's it.
Well, kind of.
I mean, I get nothing from that.
Well, right?
Right.
Well,
I mean, there's a time and place for
of course,
it. And if you can execute it.
Of course.
I mean, there's players, you know.
That doesn't, all right. So that is not a diss to Dave Weckl.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. My God. He's one of the best drummers in the world,
course,
you know? I mean,
one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But I just look at it like, I think we're talking about the same thing. It's like, but even Dave Weckl, well, first of all, I don't know how you feel about it, but.
I'm not a big Weckl fan, but that's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
My God.
But we'll get to that. But we'll get to who your favorites. But you got to know at what point are you can kind of cop some stuff and you get a thing, but then you're like, but they're expressing themselves.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It's a musical situation. It's not an exercise.
So what is your voice?
Correct.
Right.
And that's something I think that in the past 10 years I discovered.
Right.
I think just because, well, part of my, you know, playing in cover bands for such a long period of time, sometimes you don't really get your own voice. You don't discover it.
Right.
You're always trying to, you know, especially in bands that are exact about what they want duplicated.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, I was talking to someone.
Yeah.
About that.
You know, it's easy to get caught up in that.
Because we have to cover so many different things.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Sounds and styles.
Yeah. But
Interesting.
yeah, but
I meant who knows what that was a reaction to, of just like people overplaying on a gig where you don't have to.
no, right.
You know,
right,
just
right,
play
right.
the thing.
Right.
You know.
I've used this quote. I've never got fired for paying too little.
Now there's
I
something.
never lost a gig for playing too little.
Now there's something.
You know,
You're right about that.
and I remember so many situations. One comes to mind. I remember playing with this guitar player. I won't mention his name, but he's a very well known player.
Sure.
And we're playing, we're rehearsal, and he goes, you sound good. He goes, but
Yeah.
he goes, I want more primal beats. I want more primal. So I take that as get rid of the fluff.
Yeah,
he
sure.
wants the meat and potatoes. He wants to feel that.
Yeah,
he doesn't,
yeah.
It's just like your voice. Just speak directly,
Yeah,
convey
yeah.
your message. Don't put a lot of big words in there that
Right.
nobody understands.
Right, right.
So I certain things stay with you. And that's something.
You got to be comfortable there, though.
Yeah.
I think
Well, it takes discipline.
Right. That's what I was
Especially
gonna say.
drums. You want to hit everything that's there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Just a brief aside. I think it's the same thing what you're saying, where when you record yourself and you get brutal, like you get brutal with yourself. Like,
I'm
how
brutal.
For real. I remember I was young. I was probably still in high school. I was playing with older people. We were playing cover tunes, and I was like Mr. Boy Wonder. Like I could play anything, anytime, overplay whatever. And thought I was the coolest cat in the world. And the other guys in the band didn't seem to mind, but I'll never forget there was they videotaped the gig. I thought, oh man, I'm going to go home and just watch myself. How cool. And it was awful.
Yeah.
I just was like, no. Too many ideas that you're not pulling off, too many things. And I was mortified, just like devastated. And I just played hat, kick, snare, and one cymbal for like a year. And then I added a floor tom. Like I just was like, you know what? Because the discipline, I was too distracted. And I just said, and they literally would be like, can you bring a tom? And I was like, not yet. And I literally.
Can you play some color? Can you play some colors?
And then I had a floor tom. I didn't have any, that was that.
Yeah.
And then after a while, and then made it to 4-piece, and that's all it's ever been.
Right. That's my time. I'm playing
but I had
4-piece now.
Right.
I'm happy with that. It does everything I need to do.
Right.
I mean, it's nice having a couple of effects symbols or something like that.
Sure.
But for more colors and for some ballads and for some things. But as far as I mean,
just lay into it.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. So that's cool. So wow, that's interesting. So Herman helped you to.
Yeah,
probably bridge to have the
just by
courage
me
to
watching him, and I went to he's got a lot of stuff on YouTube from him with Tower.
Oh, cool.
And he uses the drum cam, and he
I never saw them with him.
Okay.
But I saw his clinic, and I had the record. So
go on YouTube and Herman Matthews Tower Power, and
I will.
And he's got some great angle shots, and and he's a beast back there, man. There's no doubt where he is in that song.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's killer. That's great.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So that you went back. How did that affect whatever gig you were on at the time?
Well, I think I just played. I played less. I played. I just was very conscious of playing for a reason. If there wasn't a reason to play it, don't play it. Unless if you're going to the bridge, if you want to, if you want to release tension, go to the right cymbal. If you want to turn around, if you want to cue the singers. But if it's just in the middle of an 8-bar, repeating phrase, why are you putting stuff in the middle of it? There's no need for it,
Right. Unless you're trying to get a trophy.
Unless that's right. I mean, listen to James Brown.
Right.
Keep it right there.
Fired,
keep it right there.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Don't change a thing.
I don't know if this is a true story or not. I used to know somebody back in Pittsburgh who played with James Brown. He played someone, it doesn't matter, older, but he used to tell James Brown stories. He was on the road with James for years. Yeah. And he said one of his things was, I don't know if this is true or not, but it sounds like it. James was auditioning guitar players. He was talking to a guitar player, and he said to the guitar player, "Can you play an E9 chord, whatever? And can you play an A9 chord?" Guitar player goes, "Yeah." James, for an hour. I don't know if that's true or not, but that was the joke that was going. Like, can you play the same thing over? Like, if I go an hour, it's boom, 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 boom. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if not, you're fired now, like right now. So funny.
That's funny.
Oh boy. Yeah. Oh God. Sure. Yeah. Look at this.
I gotta mix in a little freeze.
Oh God. Yeah.
You got a headache.
Yeah. You got that right. Wow. So that's cool. Herman Matthews. That's interesting.
Yeah,
that's
big. That was a big influence. Yeah.
Who else?
Who else? I took some lessons with Kenwood Denard.
Oh wow!
At that time when he was teaching Bob, at Bob's place.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable. Yeah. Still now, I still practice some of his stuff. You know.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I remember seeing him even before he came into mind of taking lessons with him or even knowing who he was. Actually, I went to a concert in a park. With the Paul Brown series, the Monday Night Jazz series they used to have in Hartford.
Okay.
And I think the first one in the year was Pat Martino.
Oh, okay.
And it was Pat Martino and Kenwood on drums and Delmar Brown on bass. It was the Joyous Lake record lineup. And they were, I have no idea who Kenwood Denard was.
Yeah, right,
Sure. And oh my God.
Yeah, right. I can't even imagine.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then I was fortunate enough that Bob hooked me up with him for a while and stuff. And
hey, that's cool. So what was his thing? What did you learn most from him?
It's the first thing we talked about, hitting the drums like a pro.
Oh, nice.
And getting your sound.
Nice.
And such a simple thing as striking the drum.
Yeah.
The way a pro sounds as opposed to the way an amateur sounds.
Yeah.
And it's that same thing, like, you hear that thing like, Vinny could sit on anybody's drums and make them sound good. Well,
Sure.
Part of it is the way you hit the drums too,
Wow. That's cool.
That was one of the first things, and playing with a metronome was very important.
Sure.
And some of his exercises, wood stroke, and his things, that were his go-to items, But and then we talked a lot too. Just there's a lot to be learned. Just
killer.
From the experience he has, and just like him on oh God. On the Maceo Parker record.
I was just gonna bring that up. So I mean, like, I would
best
hear
16
the name.
bars in R&B.
So I would hear his name. Didn't really know. Didn't know. And then when that Maceo live record came out, it's just like it. Like I remember. Anyway, I'm sure anyone who's a musician, let alone a drummer, knows this album, but it's like a live Maceo record, and it's Kenwood on drums. Like the first track is like 10 minutes or whatever, but like, I mean, it was so mind-blowing and like, oh, this is how it's done. And it was like, by the time I got done with that song, I was like, you mean there's another song? Like I was like, that's enough to completely knock you off your orbit to just go, okay.
Yeah, it's like you're stranded on a desert island. Yeah. That's one of the records you want in your collection.
Right, and just say, let me rethink everything that I thought I knew. And then there's track 2. You know what I mean? Like it was like,
2% jazz, 98% funky stuff.
Right. Yeah, mind-blowing. What's funny is, so that blew my mind.
Oh, yeah.
And I went, oh my God, I gotta see this. And Maceo came to Toads.
Oh, I went to that show.
And it was Bill Stewart on drums.
Yeah,
I was disappointed for about 1 second.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh.
I thought that was an interesting choice, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was cool, though.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
That is an interesting choice. I was, like I said, I was disappointed for a second. But then I was like, oh, no, okay.
Yeah.
And I remember I kind of snuck around. Because I wanted to, I don't know if you're like this, but like, I need to understand the stage volume. Like, I need to know how, not from the PA, but like, how hard is he hitting? How much command does he have of this thing?
Yeah.
And I remember, I don't know if you remember that show, but the thing I remember is the horn. They played off the mic most of the time.
Yeah.
Like it was the stage volume was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I was
Well,
like,
yeah.
cool.
That's the key. You know.
Right.
You know?
And they just said, well, then the PA will do whatever it does, but they weren't blasting out.
Yeah.
It's cool. So he was the right choice for that.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if it would have been different if it were Kenwood. I wonder.
I don't know. I mean, he's a hard player. He's definitely he takes no prisoners, you know. But then he's had gigs, you know.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
the Manhattan Transfer gig
Right,
and
right.
those gigs
Sure.
where you're not a bull in those gigs. You
Yeah.
know?
Right. I just wonder if he was because Bill Stewart's a little quieter.
Oh,
I just wonder if they would
Yeah.
respond to that. But
Yeah.
But it was great either way.
Oh, yeah.
That was like one time I went. I was a big Weckl fan, and I went. Chick Corea. It was like acoustic band. It was Patitucci, and they played at Quinnipiac. Oh man, I'm gonna go. Me and my bass player, we went. And of course, being the drummer dork, I'm looking at the drums. I'm going, those aren't Weckl's drums. Like, I'm ready to be disappointed, and I was disappointed for about 5 seconds. Out walks Peter Erskine, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna be fine. Like, this is different. I'm gonna have to adjust, but
There's another one.
I'm just like, okay.
There's another one.
Yeah,
Oh, my
this is
God.
amazing,
Yeah.
and it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was really amazing.
Yeah.
Totally unexpected.
That's like I went to see James Taylor a couple of years back up in Tanglewood, and I was sitting on the lawn, and I can't see what's going on.
Right.
And that was when the October Road record was out.
Oh, okay.
And in October Road, he starts it kind of like 50 Ways. He's got that very military type intro.
Yeah.
And I listened to it and I say, this doesn't feel like Gad. This does not. There's this, and it was good, but this is. So I go inside and get through the people because I want to see who's playing drums. Chad Wackerman.
Oh, that's right.
And I was very surprised, but man, he was excellent. He was just excellent, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
But Gad was just so signature on that.
It's Oh, you can't mess with that. Yeah, that's heavy. Wow, wild.
Yeah.
Wow. What else?
What else?
I mean, we have a little while. I mean, I have wrap up questions when we get in about 10 minutes. I'm just trying to think.
Yeah.
If there's any TikTok, like as far as what you have done or what led you up to career-wise playing, if you want to.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because we just started talking. I usually ask people, we go
specifics,
but we just started kind of.
Yeah, well, it's drummer thing, I guess. You just go. Because I was thinking about what am I going to talk about?
Oh no, no, it's all good.
How interesting am I?
Well, Well, you like I said, you leave that to me. That's
you're definitely. Yeah, here's a kind of an interesting one. I grew up in Cromwell.
Okay.
And
I live in Berlin right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. My son lives in Berlin.
Cool.
Yeah, right off Lower Lane.
Nice. I live on Hudson.
Okay.
Right, between Lower and Worthington Ridge.
Oh, okay.
Big hill.
All right.
Anyway.
Cool. Oh,
love it there.
Like neighbors.
Yep.
I grew up next to Charlie Gigliotti. I don't know if that name rings a bell.
No.
They just call him Jigs, keyboard player, piano player.
Okay.
And he was instructor at Hart.
Okay.
And anybody that played piano at that time studied with him.
Okay.
And his brother-in-law was Bobby Zamiti.
Okay, I don't know.
Which was a big name.
Dave is nodding. So.
Yeah. Bobby was from Middletown.
Okay.
He's part of the Lee Pack clique that went out to the West Coast when everything was booming, and Bobby would come home. I don't know if they shut down recording out at the movie studios and everything once a year, but it seems like everybody came home at the same time when Charlie would have this picnic.
Okay.
And I was just a kid. And next door, he would have, Bobby would be there, and Richie Lepore would be there, Emil Richards would be there, Skinny Picard would be there. It was like the who's who, Lee Pack, the who's who of the Hartford drumming community would be there.
Sure.
And it was, I was a kid, and it was like, they'd come over and talk to me, and they were just like the nicest people you ever want to meet, And I just like telling people that because it was such an interesting thing, These guys are like playing on everything.
Yeah, right.
Everything.
Right. Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
when you, and I started thinking about it, like the sitcoms back then,
Yeah, right.
or the shows like Cannon and
Yeah.
There's always drums in the background. There's always like a theme going on, and there's something, and back then they were cutting this stuff live,
Yeah, right.
There weren't no loops or nothing.
Sure,
I mean,
sure.
they were getting a theme and just playing off of it and improvising on it, and
nice.
and
for the chase part or whatever.
And all the movie soundtracks they were doing.
Well, you know what I would like to find out. I don't know that anybody. I can't get a definitive answer on this, but when I was a kid, this used to freak me out. Man, it was so good. Is the theme to SWAT, the original SWAT? I don't know. The last time you heard that, whoever that is, it could be Steve Gadd. I've heard people say, but it doesn't sound like it to me. But whoever
How old
is,
that?
it was probably 75. I was a kid.
Was Gadd out there then?
I don't think so. That's what
I don't
I'm
think
saying.
he was out there then. He was
But
still around
whoever
here.
that is, might be one of those cats. But man, it is funky.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah.
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 I mean, it's funny. I was talking to Dave Buda, who I playing Skyway with.
No, wait a minute. Is it Starsky and Hutch? Do that.
Oh, Starsky.
Whoever
So that's
that
really
is.
old. That's old. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Whoever that is. Anyway.
But anyways, me and Dave were having this conversation because he's been playing around with like movie kind of music, like background music, but trailer music or whatever. And it was interesting. Like we said, it's something you don't notice until it's not there.
Right. Right.
And then it's just like, and we just had this discussion the other night, me and him, and I said, it's like a laugh track. Do you think the shows are funny when they don't have a laugh track?
Right. Right. Yeah.
Or is
so
there something
weird.
psychological
just
about
makes
that?
you-
You heard a laughter and said,
yeah.
it must be funny. Right.
I used to play a gig, it was a trio, acoustic trio, and I had like I was playing hand percussion. I had a little sampler that I would interject little things, and I had just like a very subtle round of applause that I would put at just the right volume.
Yeah.
And I would do it after every song, and after about 4 songs, people would start applauding at the end of tunes. And
Sheep.
Just kind of.
Right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Yeah, I used to do that.
That is something. That is something.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's heavy. Cool. All right. Well, speaking of, I don't know if you've ever seen my show before, but yeah. So the questions are. Oh, well, here's what I want to ask you. Actually, because this is the age-old question. I don't know. I would assume that that you're doing it. I don't know if you know that you're doing it, but I noticed too that like it seems to me when you play, like you're putting your backbeat way behind. Is that is that a thing? It's beautiful.
I think it's my personality. I think it just comes out. Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah.
That's so
a little
cool.
lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
cool.
I dig listening to drummers like Al Wilson.
Right.
Al, with the way he plays behind, like on some of that Al Green, that old Al Green stuff, when he's doubling a 2 and 4 with the floor and the snare drum, and he's just yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that answers it, because it's like I don't think I can do that naturally if I'm in the right frame of mind, but a little too much Stuart Copeland damage at the wrong age,
Yeah.
So I tend to, if I'm not careful, I tend to kind of play dead center.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with dead center.
Well, no, I know, but I love that kind of back behind, and I can do it if I just like, okay, just be cool and kind of dial into it. But it seems like you play like that, just like boom.
Yeah, I
cool.
guess it's.
And so does Herman. Actually.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah,
Ed Green played themes for SWAT.
On who?
Ed Green.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
That could be.
Yeah.
Wow, Ed
Yeah.
Green. Wow.
Oh, that's a name.
I wonder if we can get the licensing. That should be our outro music. Is that whatever that was? No, we'll talk about it later. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. So that was just something that you were like, I'm gonna try and.
Yeah, I
sound
guess.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I don't know if I could. Man, I don't know.
Well.
Yeah.
You are.
And then later Jeff Beccaro did it too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that could be too. Jeff Beccaro. That could be. Any of that could be.
But that was a big beat. Man, I go back and listen to some of his stuff, and it's just like, oh.
Yeah,
God.
yeah. You know what? It's funny. One that I remember, You know, because you're a kid, you know, I didn't know, I don't think I really knew. I noticed Hold the Line, for sure. But I didn't really know. I was too young to really know who was what, but I did recognize that. But I remember there was a point when, of course, I had Modern Drummer magazine, and they had like a little flexi disc.
Oh, the plastic thing.
My God. And he did one thing, and that's when I knew for sure it was him, because he was like, hey, it's Jeff Porcaro. We're going to show you some of this. And it was just this, you knew they did it in an hour. It was just a keyboard vamp and him playing.
Yeah.
And it was that one little minute and a half little ditty that he did to showcase the cymbal has licks in it that I
That's
still
right, because
use.
Peisty he was a Peisty and Dorsey,
Right,
and
right.
that's who sponsored those.
Right.
What do you call them? There's a name for them.
Yeah, like a flexi disc or something.
There's
whatever.
a cello, whatever.
Something.
Yeah. Because remember they used to put those in the magazines back then, and you get to hear, you know, wow, you know.
But yeah, Jeff Porcaro. Jeez. Yeah, you're never gonna get around that. You're just not. Desert Island albums.
What's that?
Desert Island albums.
Okay, how many?
5.
5.
Seems to be about a good number. You know, that would help us to understand.
Yeah, I'd have to say definitely the Maceo record.
Sure.
Life on Planet Groove.
Sure.
You know.
Yep.
I have to say back to Oakland TOP.
Yeah, sure.
Cold Blood Sisyphus.
I don't know that.
Sandy McGee on drums.
I don't know that.
Scary record.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Don't know it. All right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's and Cold Blood at that time was on the San Francisco label.
Oh.
The Tower was on the San Francisco label.
Okay.
And they several horn players played on both sides.
Oh, wow.
Both bands are
Yeah,
both
I
San
don't know what
Francisco
that is.
bands.
Oh,
yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I don't know about. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Let me think. What else have I been listening to?
Yeah, I don't know.
I love October Road, James Taylor.
Yeah, sure.
Man, I love
Sure.
the playing on it,
Sure.
you know?
That was probably Carlos Vega, right? Was it?
I think it's Cat.
Oh, okay.
I think it's
okay,
Cat on
okay,
that.
all right,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, right. How wrong are you going to go?
Boy, yes, there's just so much, man.
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah.
I'm trying to think of my my.
Yeah, right.
I'm going through my record collection in my head.
Yeah.
You know, Pleasure. Pleasure's one of my favorite bands from back in the day.
See, I don't know
R&B
that.
band.
Wow.
I can't think of the drummer's name. They were just
Wow.
scary. Oh, Brother to Brother, Gino Vanelli.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
With Mark Craney on
Yeah,
drums,
yeah,
Carlos
sure.
Rios.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now they're coming to me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, the real
You know,
stuff.
it's like I got the vinyl and I'm like going through it
Yeah.
in my head, you know?
Yeah, no, me too.
Chameleon.
Yeah, sure.
Harvey, that's,
Sure,
you know,
sure.
Harvey Mason and
Sure.
that, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to think, what was it? Oh, we heard. Not to get because I always end up. I don't know what your girlfriend,
Beth. I guess we'll call her Beth.
Okay,
Yeah.
Beth. Yeah. my wife's funny because she's not a musician per
Correct.
se, but she's got a really good ear.
Yeah.
She's so funny, and she'll be like, the other day we heard "Breezin'" by George Benson. And she's like, and then she goes, wow, this drum track's really good. Who's this drummer? Yeah, okay.
Harvey Mason.
Yeah, it's Harvey Mason. But it was just funny that she noticed, and I'm like, whoa, yeah. You would,
You know, that's interesting. People, I have a friend of mine, he passed away a couple of years ago, but he was a big music guy, big music guy. And I would take him around to see music, when we had a night when I was off and stuff and everything, because I know he appreciated it so much. So a good friend of mine, Tommy Purick, plays in a Frank Sinatra tribute band.
Nice.
And they're excellent. Tommy's just a fine player. And so I brought Larry to see them. And after we went out and stuff, so I said, so what'd you think? He goes, band's great. He goes, the drummer's very exact. And I said,
Oh, wow.
I said that's the biggest compliment you could give him.
Yeah,
That's
right.
the type of player he is.
Sure,
You know, I
sure.
said I'll have to relay that to him.
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
but there's somebody that's a non-musical person.
Yeah,
that,
right,
That's what he picked. Besides enjoying the show and enjoying
yeah.
the tunes,
Yeah.
he picked that up. You know, which I said, wow, man,
Yeah.
that's nice ears.
Yeah, that's interesting. No,
Yeah.
I mean, that's always cool.
Yeah, you know that somebody can tune into that.
Yeah. Oh,
You
definitely.
know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's funny. Speaking of Al Green, that was my wife too. When we started dating, she had drum questions. You know, every once in a while she'd be like, "Hey, you know, I have a drum question." She goes, "What Al Green?" She's like, "What is like what the snare drum is?"
Oh, that
Like
real,
she picked that up.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And I said,
That's-
"Yeah, you know, it's a
Yeah.
thing." And then she goes, "The spinners do that too, don't they?" Like in her own way, she kind
yeah,
of put it
she
together.
assimilates with that. Right,
Yeah,
right,
it's kind of
right.
funny. And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah."
No, she doesn't play anything,
She played flute in high school.
Okay.
But she is very musical.
but she's a music person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
How could you not be? I mean,
Wow.
you're like the vinyl guy. You're like music going on all the time.
I think
you
so.
know.
I think so. But she knew that there was
Yeah.
there was a thing, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, it's a thing. It's
That's
a thing.
nice,
Yeah,
nice.
it's kind of funny. Desert Island food.
Desert Island.
Food.
Oh, food. Chapino,
I don't know what that is.
like paella.
Oh, okay,
Paella.
okay,
It's not
okay.
two different things.
Okay,
Paella is another
but
one.
it's
Either
similar,
or.
yeah.
Chapino or paella. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's in that?
If I wasn't just, gaining so much weight in my old age, I'd be like, whiffing it all down.
Yeah. I hear
You know?
you. Yeah, that's cool. Can you name a show, a concert that you saw that changed your whole thing? Like, boom.
I went to see Dreams when I was in high school.
Okay.
I was like, some friends of mine hit me to them, and I was
Yeah.
like, wow, man.
Yeah.
And Dreams was made up the Brecker brothers.
Yep.
Willie, John Abercrombie,
Okay.
Cobham. Were the
Okay.
big names I recognize.
Yeah, yeah.
So, do you remember McConaughey Hall in Westland? The big glass building?
No.
No, that was the place to go for shows.
Okay.
And that was the place. So, we were still in high school.
Yeah.
What's that?
Terrible acoustics.
Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible.
Okay, bad
But-
acoustics.
yeah,
One thing.
but yeah, because all glass. It was
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
glass, 2-3 stories, glass all the way up.
Yikes.
So we go in, we get the tickets. We're young kids, and opening the show, John McLaughlin, Mahavishnu Orchestra.
Oh.
And I said, "Who the frick?
Yeah,
is-
yeah.
who
Who's
the
that?
frick is
Yeah,
this?"
what does that even mean?
Oh no, that's not another opening act. I got to sit through this and listen. So
Oh boy.
we're sitting there, and it was just too much information.
Yeah.
After 20 minutes, I couldn't absorb no more. It was just way beyond me.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
just,
yeah.
It was just, and
Wow.
Cobham was playing both gigs,
Wow.
and
Interesting.
it was
Because I was just gonna say, I bet your Brecker brothers got them in, and then all the same.
it
thing.
was just like, I just couldn't keep my eyes off Cobham. I've never
Yeah,
seen nobody.
sure.
I never knew drummers could do this. You know what
Sure,
I mean?
sure.
And Cobham was playing. I'll never forget. He was playing a pink champagne set of Ludwigs, I think.
Wow.
A big set.
Yeah.
But just pre-fibes and all the clear drums
Yep.
and everything.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure he did both shows.
Wow.
And that show just
Yeah.
was nuts.
Yeah, that would do it.
And then another show there was Cold Blood
Okay.
with Gaylord Birch.
Oh, whoa. There's a name.
What a powerhouse.
Okay, so for some reason, nobody knows this one, but my parents had the very first Pointer Sisters record,
Yes, we can,
which
Ken.
is which is Gaylord Birch.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just do you ever think about this? That might between that. I mean, I can think of the handful of things that I heard, but the drum. Not only was it great, but the drums were loud enough. And yes, we can. The track one that I was just like, I could hear what was going
I
on.
can pick out what's going on.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's what I want to do. Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom. I was like, whoa, the drums are so loud that yeah.
Now
it was
there's
like-
a YouTube loop out there.
Yes, I've
Have you
seen
seen
it.
of him?
Yeah,
Of him
where he's-
alive?
Yeah. What a badass. Also, Oakland, California.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
they're all
That's
that.
right. He's another one.
Yeah.
I remember that he had a big
Gaylord
Block
Burks.
Kit, man. And he was just a force back there, man, kicking that band.
Yeah, crazy.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember there's a couple of drummers on that record, and there's one where they're playing like Cloudburst. They're playing kind of
Way up.
yeah,
Way
and
up.
but it's not him. I can't remember who it is.
Oh, I can't remember now.
But then there's another tune where they're playing up, and he's playing.
Okay.
And it's monstrous.
Oh, he's
You're
just,
just like,
he was
Lord.
he's another one of the go-to guys back then that I would
Nice,
listen to. Yeah,
nice. I only
Yeah.
know that one record. Wow, that's cool.
Oh,
I'll have
him
to get into it.
on Cold Blood.
Okay, I'll get into it.
Thriller.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, all right, I'll get
Yeah.
into it. Yeah, because that's the only record I know with him on it, and it's
Thriller.
amazing.
He's just like he's.
Okay.
They do a version of "Kissin' My Love" on there, the
Okay.
Bill Withers-tune.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get into it. All right, hey, we got to fly.
Okay.
Thank you for being here.
Oh man,
I'm glad
thank
we
you for
did
having
this.
me. I hope it was interesting. You
Oh
know?
yeah,
I
no,
mean,
no.
I mean,
I want. There's things I want to know, and I know. So that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know.
we'll have to do it again sometime. You bring the cannolis.
Okay, yeah. Where are these from? You wanna give a shout out.
D'Angelo's place in Colchester.
Okay, all right. Colchester cannolis here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Far out. Well,
After the show, we'll break them out. Let's go.
yeah, definitely. All right, yeah. Let's get this over with. All right, hey, Tom De Sena, right?
That's right.
I said it.
De Sena.
De Sena.
Yeah.
God, I always get that wrong. De Sena. Tom De Sena. Dave, it's your fault somehow. I don't know how. He's like, okay. All right, hey, John Peckman Podcast, Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance, beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. Come over the bridge, go through one set of lights, pull a UE, park in front of the music store with the red neon light. I'm getting this.
Man.
I'm getting better at this. Like and subscribe, tell your friends, be on the show with me. Tom De Sena.
De Sena.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Cool. All right. Hey, thanks a lot, kids.
man.
Drive
Thank
safe.
you.
Have your very own podcast here in our beautiful studio. Dave will tell you how right now. That is all.
If you'd like to start your own podcast, give us a call at Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance. Our professionally designed podcast space is here for all your recording needs. Rent out our studio to do interviews with up to 4 people, to record audiobooks, social media content, and all other recorded material. Our rentals include a private studio along with our professional-grade podcasting equipment, and we can customize your output to whatever your needs are. We also have green screen capabilities, which will expand to video capability if you so wish. So check us out here at convalley.net/podcast.